In the beginning of this week's Parsha, Parshas Pinchas, Hashem tells Moshe, Pinchas heshiv es chamasi me'al b'nei Yisrael. Pinchas returned my anger over Am Yisrael, b'konod kinati b'tocham. That he had the zeal, he had the anger, the vengeance. He felt that vengeance that I felt and expressed it b'tocham, within Am Yisrael. L'chein hineni noten lo et briti shalom. I give him my bris of shalom, kunas olam. He gets kahuna. Not only that, but we're told that he got longevity according to the Sforno. He lived many years, and that supports the midrash that the Targum Yonasan brings down, that Pinchas is Eliyahu, where the Targum Yonasan says, Bidnei malach kayem v'chei la'amal lemevasra geulta b'sof yomaya. He's going to be the one who's going to be mevasra the geula. He's going to be Eliyahu. So Pinchas got briti shalom, he got longevity, and he got kahuna. Very interesting midrash on this pasuk. In the midrash Rabbah says, Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu bidin hu sheitol scharo. He has it coming. He deserves this schar. Pinchas does. So Rav Bik in the Chai Moshe brings up a big kasha that's glaringly obvious. The Gemara in Kedushin Lamed Tedam Beis, Rabbi Yaakov says, Schar mitzvah b'hai al maleka. There is no reward in this world. All the rewards are for olam haba. So what does it mean, bidin hu sheikabel schar, that he has it coming? David HaMelech says in Tehillim, Lecha Hashem chesed ki atata shalom li'ish k'ma'aseyu. It's a chesed that you do for us, Hashem, that you do give us schar in this world at times. Bidin hu sheitol scharo? What does that mean? The Ramah in Choshen Mishpat, in Shulchan Aruch, he brings down from the Mordechai, a person who says, a father-in-law says to his son, teach your son Torah, teach my grandson Torah, and I will pay you for it. He's pater milashalim. He doesn't have to pay his son-in-law. Why not? Because the son-in-law already has a chiyuv to teach his son, to teach the grandson. So too, when you're socher a poel, when you hire a laborer to do his own work, you don't have to pay him. When a Kadosh Baruch Hu gave us the Torah, it was for us, not for him. We're not doing anything for Kadosh Baruch Hu kaviyachol. It's for us. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to be mezakeh us, so he gave us lots of mitzvos that are good for our neshama. The mitzvos are good for us, like a doctor gives us a regimen. The Torah is for us, not for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But what Pinchas did, bikon oet kinasi, that heishiv chamasi me'al b'nei Yisrael, he got rid of the din and brought in rachamim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants to be meitiv for Am Yisrael. It's his chefto and ratzono. It's his desire. There are some mitzvos that you can be mahane kaviyachol Hashem, that you can give Hashem a benefit. You're doing him a tova, you're giving him a matana, you're giving Hashem a gift. And for that, bidin hu sheitol schar. We see the same thing when it comes to limud Torah, to Talmud Torah. The Gemara in Brachos says, Asher mi shegada b'Torah v'amela b'Torah v'ose nachas ruach liyotzro. That when you learn Torah, you're doing nachas ruach. You're doing something good for Hashem. You're giving a Kadosh Baruch Hu nachas. Rashi says in Bechukosai Telechu, in Bechukosai, famously says, what is it referring to? Shetiu ameli metorah. And what does that Parsha say in Bechukosai? Gives you schar in this world. Natati gishmechem be'itam. I'll give you your rains in their times. Natati v'natna ha'aretz zivula, and the land will bear fruit. Ve'et sasadei yiten piryo. And at the end, later on after the tochacha there, v'zacharti et briti Yaakov. Ve'briti Yitzchak, ve'briti Abraham eskor, ve'aretz eskor. V'zacharti briti Yaakov there is written, Yaakov is written with an extra vav. There are only 5 times in Chumash, Rashi points out, that Yaakov is written with an extra vav, and that vav is taken from Eliyahu. When in Navi, Eliyahu is written 5 times without a vav at the end of the hay. That Yaakov says to Eliyahu, I want you to be mevaser the geula la'atid for my children. Again, a reference back to Pinchas, who's Yaakov, as we said about the Targum Yonasan. Very similar idea. Just like Pinchas did nachas ruach, and you get a schar bedin. So too when it comes to limud Torah, like we say in the Mishnah and the Gemara in the Mishnah in Peah, Elu dvarim shadam ochel perteim b'olam hazeh You enjoy the benefits, the fruits of your labor in this world. And we say what? Talmud Torah keneged kulam. Talmud Torah is above all. Explains the Rambam. Things that are bein adam lechavero in that list, which is gemilas chasadim, and the rest in that list pretty much, that when it comes to bein adam lechavero, it makes sense that the schar would be in this world. Why? Because by acting that way to your friends, you are actually the dogma, you are the exemplar, you're exemplifying exactly how a person should behave, and that person will behave in turn the same way that you behaved. And you'll get your schar ba'inyahu. You'll get the exact same schar. You'll get what you gave. But Talmud Torah explains the Rambam, like Hillel HaZaken when he was approached by the Nocher, teach me Torah on one leg. And what did he say? Da'alach bish l'chavrech lo ta'avid. What you don't like, don't do it to your friend. And Rashi says, it's a reference to v'ahavta l'recha kamocha. Again, Talmud Torah is what's mevi lidei ma'aseh, that brings out that good in you of bein adam l'chavera. And it creates fruits for this world. And that's what's nachas ruach for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And we see the same thing with shofar. That on Rosh Hashanah we're davening for today, for Olam Hazeh, according to most Pirushim. The Midrash Rabbah says, when we blow the shofar, what does it cause HaKadosh Baruch Hu? HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, Ani omed bekisei adin v'yoshev al kisei rachmim. Just like we saw with Pinchas. I move from midas adin to midas rachmim with the shofar. And finally, the Ketores as well. The Ketores was known to be me'asheres. There was not one Kohen in the world who brought the Ketores more than once in his lifetime, because everyone wanted it, to the point where it was lotteried off. It was auctioned off to it. It was a lottery on Yom Kippur to those who had never done it before. What's the idea of Ketores? Explains the Meshech Chochmah. The whole idea of Ketores is that it brings everyone together. Like we know that there was the Chelbana, which was galbanum, which smelled bad. And the Gemara says, like the Poshem Yisrael, you have to have the Achdus, even the Rishayim have to be included. And it makes a wonderful smell, the incense. That's Nachas Ruach, that we should come together. That's why Moshe, when Korach comes to him, the ultimate conflict, the epitome of conflict of Machlokas in Am Yisrael, what does he do? What's the response? Bring Ketores. And that's what happens at the end to stop the Magefa. He brings Ketores. It didn't work with Korach, but it brings them together. That's Nachas Ruach. That's why it's Me'asheres. When you do Nachas Ruach to Hashem, when you give him Matana, so then he rewards you in turn in this world. The Ruach HaChaim in Avos, we know that Perkei Avos we're told, don't be like a person who's Meshamish Almanas L'Kabel Schar. Be like an Eved, like a servant who's Meshamish Almanas Shelo L'Kabel Schar. Says the Ruach HaChaim. The Ruach HaChaim says, the highest level of Kiyum Mitzvahs is to do a mitzvah in order to get a schar. What does he mean? Not in order to get a schar, but do a mitzvah to the point where you want it to be nachas ruach for Hashem, that he'd have to give you a schar. That's the highest level of mitzvahs. That's what Pinchas teaches us. How he did nachas ruach to Hashem. He gave him matana. We do that through Talmud Torah, with the Ketores and the shofar, but with Talmud Torah and the Achdus, when we come together. Let's expand on that just a little bit more. We established that he's doing Nachas Ruach. What is it that he did, and why is it, other than moving HaKadosh Baruch Hu from Din to Rachmin, but what is it? What lever did he pull that enacted that caused the Kadosh Baruch Hu to move from Din to Rachmin? And why, through this act of heroism, does he get rewarded with kahuna? Why specifically Kohen? Why not a politician or the leader of the army? It would be a little bit more logical. Why Dafka Kohen? So the Sfas Emes explains. A general klal. Every single yid has within him a latent kedusha, koach, a property within him that may be dormant, but it's lying there. These nitzotzos of kedusha, these these tools that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us, whether it's our neshama, that we are completely good inside and every sin we do is external, or we have kochos within us that are ready to be awakened. And what Pinchas did was he was able to bring out that latent kedusha, those latent feelings of tshuva, of wanting to get close to Kadosh Baruch Hu, that shuka. He brought that out within all of Am Yisrael. And that's the avoda of a Kohen. That's why when in last week's Parsha, when the Maisa Pinchas begins, it's described as Vayikach Romach biyado. He took a spear in his hand. Why biyado? Vayikach Romach. He took a spear. Why in his hand? That he did something. He brought out the internal with something external. This is the quality of a Kohen, to bring out the internal aspects and kochos and kishronos of a Jew. Aaron a Kohen, the Ohev Shalom, the Rodev Shalom. What is the Maharal explains the name of Aaron? Aleph, Hey, Reish, Nun. So Aleph is Alufo Shalom. He was always thinking about Hashem, but the Hey, the Reish, and the Nun, something beautiful, says the Maharal. Hey, when it comes to the ones, the tens, and the hundreds, the single digits, the double digits, and the triple digits, so 5 of the single digits, it's the exact middle. Nun, the 50, is the exact middle of the double digits. And the Reish is the middle of the 4 triple digits that we have in the Aleph base, of Kuf, Reish, Shin, Taf. Aharon, the Aleph of Hashem, and the Hey, Reish, Nun, the middle, the complete internal Kedusha. That's what Aaron was great at bringing out. The Ohev Shalom, Verodev Shalom, who went famously from one arguer to another and say, yo, he wants to come close to you. The Shalom, Shlemos, he brought out the best in people. They wanted to come back to one another. Being angry at each other is not natural. He brought out the latent, natural, dormant Kedusha. And that's what Pinchas did too. How does this Sfas Emes know that he brought out the feelings, those wantings of Kedusha and tshuva, and the disgust that Am Yisrael felt towards Zimri? It's not described anywhere in the Maisa. So he explains. It says, Kon oat kinati betocham. Not among them, but shebetocham, the kina that they all had. They were all upset at the Midyan, and they were all upset at the situation. It says at the end of last week's Parsha, Vehema bochim petach ol moed. They were crying. They wanted so badly to end this, but they couldn't do it. Pinchas brought it out in them, and then afterwards we're told, Saror tamidyanim v'yikitim otam. Finally, the other remez that the Sfas Emes points out says it's Gzeir Shava, that at the end of Malachi, the final of the Treyasar, describes the role of the Kohen. The role of the Kohen described as Rabim Heishiv Me'avon. That the Kohen Gadol makes sure that he helps the Rabim, the Tzibor, avoid sinning. Heishiv es Chamasi. Pinchas was able to get in tune with his nation and bring out the beauty that was inside. And when we do that, when we bring out the beauty that we have inside ourselves, we're doing nachas ruach for Kadosh Baruch Hu. Kadosh Baruch Hu rewards us in this world and the next world. That we should strive to be our true selves and bring out the best within us and our friends. To do nachas ruach before Hashem, He should reward us individually and as a nation. Good Shabbos.